Hello dear students, welcome back again to Chinmoy's Biology channel. So today we are going to start the second chapter in your science. It is matter around us pure. So let's get started. I think you have already gone through the previous lesson which I have posted. I am putting the link in the I box above as well as in the description box below. Please go through it so that it will make your learning easier for this lesson. So what we are going to discuss today, so the learning objectives is we are going to discuss a few things like about few points on purity of a substance. We are discussing about mixture with different activities. We will be discussing about solution and through different activities what is suspension and what is colloidal solution. So in the next episode we will be studying about the physical and chemical changes. In the previous classes also you have studied, but in 9th you will be studying it in details. Then we will study about types of pure substances and compounds, difference between mixture and compound with several examples and all. So to know more regarding this lesson and many more other lessons as per your CBSE curriculum, you need to stay tuned with my channel. So please do subscribe my channel and share it with your friends. So without further delay, let's get started with this lesson that is matter around us pure. So let's get started. So how do we judge whether the milk, ghee or butter, salt, spices, mineral water or juice is pure or not? So suppose you are buying some items, might be it's on ghee, you will see that it's written pure ghee or pure cow milk. So it's written on the salt or pure salt, iodized salt. So on that only we depend that the consumables are pure. That is, the purity depends on that. But is it like that for scientists also? No. So have you ever noticed that the word pure written on the packs of these consumables is written like that? So for common person it means having no adulteration. Is it clear? But for a scientist, all these substances are actually mixtures of different substances and hence they are not pure. Okay, so if they are mixture of certain other substances, they are not at all pure. So milk is a mixture of water, fat and protein. So it is not at all a pure substance. It's a mixture, and it is mixture of what? Water, fat and protein. So when a scientist says that something is pure, it means that all the constituent particles of that substance are the same of their chemical nature. So in milk, it should be only milk, no water, no fat, no proteins. Okay, so it should be not a combination of substances. A pure substance consists of a single type of particle. Is it clear to you all? So for us, for our common people or general people, it is pure means it is pure cow milk. But for scientists, it is a mixture of three substances. So a pure substance consists of a single type of particle. In other words, a substance is pure in a single form of matter. Is it clear? Okay, so as we look around, we can see that most of the matter which are surrounding us exists as mixtures, two or more components. For example, seawater, minerals, soils, all are mixtures. So they are all made up of two or more substances. So now we will come to the definition of mixture. So what is a mixture? Mixture are constituted of more than one kind of pure form of matter. So mixture are constituted by more than one kind of pure form of water. So we know that dissolved sodium chloride can be separated from water by physical process of evaporation. However, sodium chloride, what is sodium chloride? You are in 9th standard now. You know that sodium chloride is NaCl, sodium and chloride. So it can be separated by evaporation when we are boiling dissolved sodium chloride in water. If you are boiling water, water will go away, evaporate, and sodium chloride will stay back in the container. So that is a mixture. Now, we can say that a pure substance cannot be separated by any physical process into its chemical constituents. So it was a mixture, salt and water solution. So it cannot be, in case of a pure substance, it cannot be separated by physical processes. Now, similarly, sugar is a substance which contains only one kind of pure matter. Its composition is same throughout. So it is not combined of anything, right? So it's a pure substance. Whereas soft drink, soil are not single pure substances. Okay, is it clear? Now, whatever the source of a pure substance may be, it will always have the same characteristic. If you are telling that sugar is pure, So from the substance which is formed and the substance which is formed, okay, both will have the same characteristics. They will not differ in their characteristics or properties. Okay, so the same characteristic properties will help them to identify the substance's purity. Okay, whether the substance is pure or not will depend on their properties. The properties will be same. Clear? Now, therefore, we can say that a mixture contains more than one pure substance. So, when a mixture is having more than one pure substance, what are the types of mixtures? Now, we will perform several activities, and on these activities only we will be dividing these types of mixtures. Okay, let us move on to the activities. Now, depending on the nature of the components, we will just with this activity that a mixture is formed. So, depending upon the nature of the components that form a mixture, we can differentiate the types of mixture, right? So, let's start with this first activity 2.1. So, let us divide a class into groups A, B, C, D. Suppose in the class you are taking two students in each group and you are dividing the class into 4 groups. So, what we are giving to group A? To group A, we are giving a beaker and it contains 50 ml of water. In that, we are giving 1 spatula full of copper sulfate powder. So, copper sulfate powder, 1 spatula full given to that group A. What will happen? That we will see down in the observations. Now, group B, we are giving 50 ml of water and 2 spatula full of copper sulfate powder in this beaker. Now, next group C and D. So, C and D group can take different amounts of copper sulfate and potassium permanganate or a common salt. So, group A is taking 50 ml of water in a beaker and 1 spatula of copper sulfate. Group B is taking 50 ml of water and 2 spatula of copper sulfate. Whereas group C and D, they are taking whatever amount of copper sulfate as they want to and potassium permanganate or salt. So, one C group is taking potassium permanganate and copper sulfate, and D group is taking copper sulfate and common salt. Okay, and they are mixing the given components to form a mixture. So, all these 4 groups are mixing these components to form mixture. So, now report the observations on the uniformity in color and texture. So, if you are having copper sulfate or potassium permanganate in your lab, in your school lab, please go ask your teacher so that you can perform this experiment with your own hands, so that it will be easier for you to find out different types of mixtures. Now, what observation we have? Group A and B have obtained a mixture which has a uniform composition throughout. So, such a mixture is called a homogeneous mixture or solutions. Whereas, now some of these examples we will give first. Salt dissolved in water is a homogeneous solution. Sugar dissolved in water is a homogeneous solution. And now compare the color of the solutions of the 2 groups like A and B, because A group solution will be lighter, much lighter than B group, because in B group they have given 2 spatula full of copper sulfate, whereas in A group they have given 1 spatula of copper sulfate. So, though both the groups have obtained copper sulfate solution, but the intensity of the color solutions is different. Both are homogeneous mixture, but one has given 1 spatula and another has given 2 spatulas. So, their intensity of color will be different. So, in first one it will be light blue and the second one will be dark blue. So, this shows that the homogeneous mixture can also have a variable composition. So, it should be clear to you all, right? I tried to explain it in a very lucid manner that both the test tubes are having copper sulfate, but in different proportions, and 1 spatula and in 2 spatula has been given to the B group. So, they are homogeneous mixture, but their composition is varying because of the amount of copper sulfate is different, and so the intensity of the color is also different. Now, in group C and D, they have obtained mixtures which contain physically distinct parts. They have non-uniform compositions because they are having sodium chloride, they are having potassium permanganate, they are having copper sulfate, all they are having. So different compositions they are having. So these are heterogeneous mixtures. So what we got now, we have got one is homogeneous mixtures and another one is heterogeneous mixtures. Okay, so another one is heterogeneous mixtures. So two mixtures we have got from these activities, right? Now we are moving on to a different set of activity. So let us again divide the class into A, B, C and D. Now we are distributing few substances to the class and we will tell them to dissolve that in water. So first what we are giving crystals of copper sulfate to group A. Then we are giving one spatula full of copper sulfate to group B. Then we are giving chalk powder or wheat flour to group C and few drops of milk or ink to group D. Now each group, they should add the given sample in water and stir properly using a glass rod. Are the particles in the mixture visible? So what are the observations? Now direct a beam of light from a torch through the beaker. So some beaker is containing copper sulfate crystals, some are containing copper sulfate solution, some is containing chalk powder, and the last group is containing few drops of milk or ink in a water solution. Now, what is the observation? So, was the path of beam light visible? So, we are leaving the mixtures for some time, undisturbed for some time or for some few minutes. Suppose we are leaving the mixtures for 10 minutes undisturbed. Now, is the mixture stable or do the particles begin to settle down after some time? So, what is happening? So, we will be filtering the mixture and if there is any residue on the filter paper, that also we will see. Now discuss the results and form an opinion. Now group A and B, they have got a solution. So we can say that group A and B, they were given? They were given few crystals of copper sulfate and copper sulfate in a spatula full. So they got a solution. Group C, they were given chalk powder and wheat flour. So what they have got? They have got a suspension. Okay. And group D, in which few drops of milk or ink were given, they have got a colloidal solution. So now in details we will learn what is a solution, what is a suspension and what is a colloidal solution. Is it clear? So still now if you are having any doubts, please write in the comment box and please don't forget to ask your question so that I can get back to you in the next episode. Now what we are doing, we are taking a filter paper like this, we are folding it, forming a cone and you are trying to filter the mixture or the colloidal solution or the suspension through this, and we will see that whether anything is present in this filter paper. So now we shall learn about solutions, suspensions, colloidal solutions in the following next sections, right? So in the next, now before writing that, just answer these questions. What is meant by a substance? And list the point of differences between a homogeneous and a heterogeneous mixtures. So very nicely I have taught you all. So I think you take out your answer book where you are noting the answers. Please write this, that what is meant by a substance and list the points of differences between homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Now what is a solution? So what is a solution? A solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. Okay, so it is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. You can come across various types of solutions in your daily life. Lemonade, it's a solution. Soda water, it's a solution, etc. are all examples of solutions. Usually we think of a solution as a liquid that contains either a solid or liquid or a gas dissolved in it. Okay, so but we can also find solid solutions such as alloys and gaseous solutions such as air. Okay, so they are also solutions of several different components or substances, right? In a solution, there is a homogeneity at a particular level. For example, lemonade tastes the same throughout. This shows that the particles of sugar or salt are evenly distributed in a solution, right? So salt or sugar, when they are evenly distributed in a solution, we can say that it is like homogenetically distributed throughout the solution. Okay, so alloys. We can say that alloys are also a mixture of two or more metals. A metal and a non-metal cannot be separated into their components by physical methods, but Still, an alloy is considered as a mixture because it shows the properties of its constituents and can have variable composition. So, it is called a mixture because it is having the properties of its constituents, right? So, whatever constituent it is made up of, it is having some properties of its constituent. Like brass is a mixture of 30% zinc and 70% copper. So both this zinc and copper properties they are having in brass. So it's a mixture of zinc and copper. Is it clear to all of you? Now a solution has a solvent and a solute. So a solution is made up of what? It is having a solvent and a solute as its component. The component of the solution that dissolves the other component in it is called the solvent. Okay, so if you are taking a salt and water solution, then water in which you are dissolving the salt is the solvent, and the salt, the component what you are dissolving in the solvent is the solute. Is it clear? Now the component of the solution that is dissolved in the solvent is called the solute. So you can get a question that what is a solvent and what is a solute, and give an example to prove this in that what is a solvent and a solution. So with an example you can prove it. That solvent is in which we are dissolving the substance, and the substance which is dissolved is called the solute. Now let us come to certain examples. A solution of sugar is in which the solid in a liquid solution. So in this solution sugar is the solute, water is the solvent. A solution of iodine in alcohol is known as tincture of iodine. So in which iodine is solid, it is a solute, and alcohol is liquid, it is a solvent. Is it clear? So these examples are very important. You can get this in your exams as well. Now aerated drinks like soda, water, etc. are gas in liquid solution. So there gas, carbon dioxide is a solute and water is a solvent. Okay, they are gas in liquid solution. So carbon dioxide is a solute and water is a solvent. Air is a mixture of a gas. Air is a homogeneous mixture of a number of gases. It is two main constituents are oxygen, nitrogen. So other gases are also present in very small quantities, right? Now we will move on to the properties of a solution. So now we come to properties of a solution. So this is a homogeneous mixture. The particles of a solution are smaller than 1 nanometer, that is 10 to the power minus 9 meter in diameter. So they cannot be seen by naked eyes. Because of very small particle size, they do not scatter a beam of light passing through the solution. So the path of light is not visible in a solution. The solute particles cannot be separated from the mixture by the process of filtration, and the solute particles, they do not settle down when left undisturbed. And the solution is always stable. So the main properties is it's a homogeneous mixture, the particle size is very small, and they do not scatter a beam of light passing through a solution. So the path of light is not visible in a solution. Is it clear? So the beam, I told you to experiment with the beam of light in it. So just do those experiments. It will be very clear for you all. And the solute particles cannot be separated from this mixture because the process of filtration, because of this process of filtration, and the solute particles do not settle down when left undisturbed. That is, a solution is stable. Okay, so now we will move on to what is the concentration of a solution. So now we are going to discuss about the concentration of a solution. So in the above activity, I think you can remember now that we observed that groups A and B obtained different shades of solution as the copper sulfate in those solutions varied in the amount. One was 1 spatula and one was 2 or 3 spatulas, right? So we understand that in a solution, the relative proportion of the solute and the solvent can be varied. So in a solution we can change either the solute or the solvent. So depending upon the amount of solute present in a solution, it can be called dilute. So dilution is being increased. If the amount of solvent is increased, it is called dilute. Concentrated or saturated solution. So here only we are getting 3 types of solution. What is that? First one is dilute solution. Then we can say that it is concentrated solution. And the third one we can say it's a saturated solution. Okay. So here we got 3 types of solution depending upon the solute and the solvent. Okay. Now, dilute and concentrated solutions are comparative terms. Okay, so if you are adding more solvent, it will become dilute, and if lesser amount of solvent is there and more solute is there, it will become concentrated solution. So again, in this activity, let us see what we are seeing. So take approximately 50 ml of water, each in 2 separate beakers. Suppose we have taken 2 separate beakers, and that 50 ml each of water we have taken. Now we are adding salt in one beaker and sugar and barium chloride in the other second beaker. And we are continuously stirring. So when no more solute is dissolved, heat is being applied and the contents in the beaker, so that the temperature is above by 5 degrees centigrade, and they start to the solute has dissolved, and we start adding the solute again. Okay, so is the amount of salt and sugar or barium chloride that can be dissolved in water at a given temperature the same? So that you should note that salt is dissolving at the same temperature as sugar or barium chloride. So at any particular temperature, a solution that have dissolved as much as solute in it, it is capable of dissolving. It is called a saturated solution. So what does it mean? Suppose in a certain temperature, the solvent can dissolve this much amount of solute in it. So that is a saturated solution. In other words, we can say that when no more solute can be dissolved in a solution, it's called a saturated solution. So it's fully saturated. It's fully whatever solute can be dissolved in it after application of heat also, it's being done. So it's a saturated solution. Now the amount of solute present in a saturated solution at that temperature is called its solubility. So many terms you are learning here. What are the terms? First, you have here learned what is a concentrated solution, dilute solution. Okay, now we are, these all are comparative to each other. Now we are learning that what is a saturated solution. So the amount of solute more than that cannot dissolve in that solution. So that is saturated solution, and this is the solubility of a solution. Is it clear? Now let us move on a little bit down. Now, if the amount of solute contained in the solution is less than that of saturated level, that is unsaturated solution. Suppose in that 50 ml of beaker only, you could have dissolved more salt or more sugar, but you didn't dissolve full. So that is the unsaturated solution. So what would happen if we were taking if you were to take a saturated solution at a room temperature and cool it slowly? So we can infer from the above activity that different substances in a given solvent have different solubilities. Okay, at different temperatures, different substances, they are having different solubilities, and the concentration of a solution is the amount of mass or volume of a solute present in it. So the amount of mass present in a solution, the amount of or the volume of the solute present in a solution in a given amount of mass or volume of a solution is its, we can say that the concentration of a solution is the amount of mass or volume of a solute present in a given amount of a solution. Right. Now, there are various ways of expressing the concentration of a solution, but here we will learn only 3 methods of expressing the concentration of a solution. So from this only we will get our sums. So to find out the concentration of solution. So let us discuss this. So first let us discuss about the first method of finding out the concentration of a solution. So first method is mass by mass percentage of a solution. That is mass of a solute by mass of a solution into 100. That is mass by mass percentage of a solution. The next come is mass by volume percentage of a solution. That is mass by mass. This is mass of a solute by volume of a solute into 100. This is mass by volume percentage. And volume by volume percentage is volume of a solute by volume of a solution into 100. So what you need to do, just mass by mass percentage of a solution, mass by volume percentage of a solution, and volume by volume percentage of a solution. This 3 formulas you should memorize. if you are memorizing this, keeping it in your mind, it will be very easy for you for these whatever sums you are getting in your exam. So they have given you a few examples, like let us see that a solution contains 40 gram of common salt and 320 gram of water. Calculate the concentration in terms of mass by mass. So the mass of a solute is this, mass of a solvent is this. So mass of the solute plus mass of the solvent is the mass of a solution. So mass percentage of a solution is mass of a solute by mass of a solution into 100. So this is the mass percentage of a solution. Okay, is it clear? Now we will be studying the suspension and all in the next class, as too much we have studied today and it will be too heavy for us to if we are studying suspension and colloids today. So colloidal solution and suspension we will be studying in the next episode, next class. So till then you need to subscribe to my channel, stay tuned, stay updated with all the episodes which I am posting, so that whenever I am posting suspension and colloidal solution and types of substances and compounds, so all this I'll be posting in the next videos. So please stay tuned, stay subscribed to my channel, and please don't forget to share it with your friends. If you are liking my channel, please do write it in my comment box. Thank you.